Hello, friends. Welcome to REL Div 1 and 2, weeks 9 and 10?
Question mark?
Yeah, both. I'm still getting over a cold that I've had for like 2 weeks. I've got a bit of a cough remaining, which is kind of unfortunate, but it's that thing that happens when you get sick, and the cough remains forever, which is unfortunate.
Twitch twins are born. We shall call them Jimerthy and Nimbivon Bingle.
Okay, Twitch didn't know how to deal with that.
Jimerthy and Nimby von Bingle Bangle.
Excellent. I like Jimerthy as a name. I might have to steal that for something.
Jimerthy is the name of my son in my Delta Green playthrough. I am constantly neglecting him.
I might need it for a Ponzi name, because I'm bringing back the Bretonnians for 1 minute, because they changed the restrictions. So the Bretonnians are sitting around again for 1 minute next season. So I'll need another stupid Ponzi name. Jimerthy Burrito. Anyway, yeah, so I apologize. There's going to be a few coughs like that. And yesterday, Shadorra was not feeling well because for some reason we were passing our plague back and forth.
But I got over it, which is why I'm drinking beer. Yeah,
and we're going to try to get through 2 weeks of div review things. So we're
going to get through like 1.2 weeks of div review things.
Yeah, we're a little behind. We'll try to catch up. It's fine. Our schedule is kind of off, so we will be, instead of doing the normal things, we're going to be looking at teams, because we haven't looked at teams in like 3 weeks or so now, regardless of whatever the regular schedule is. Hello, everybody. Welcome. We will get this started, I suppose, right?
Nah, let's bow out.
Okay, goodbye. See you later. We're done. We're 2 weeks behind. Let's just make it 3. So let's look at week 8, I guess. The results of week 8, because these are the ones that we would have predicted the last time we did a show, and then we'll do the other ones as well.
These are the ones we did predict. We did predict.
That's what I said, right?
No.
Oh.
You're like, these are the ones we would have predicted if we wouldn't
Homestead have done such a thing. Okay, so Div 1, Week 8 predictions. Pantheon Passers, Fear and Bloating. Let's see, we both predicted the Pro Elves would take this, and we were both wrong.
Yeah.
Yaza,
fuck you, Tself.
Yaza the Great. Not Yaza of Mucus, Yaza the Great. Getting MVP. 2 more SVP to level for him. Well, 5 injuries certainly helps, along with never not having the ball.
Never not having it.
Yeah.
Never didn't have it.
Yep.
It's beautiful. Yep. Prof's got Nurgled, maybe failed some really clutch stuff, and got held up a little bit and got punched for it.
Necro versus Nurgle. I predicted the Necro. You predicted the Nurgle, and they tied in what is becoming a tradition for us.
Yeah.
69 blocks for the Nurgle. That's a lot.
The Nurgle beat the crap out of the Necro, but just couldn't quite get a win out of it.
Welcome
is
to
tough,
Nurgle.
Even when Nurgle are in commanding positions, sometimes to.
You have the wrong players out. Sometimes you just can't get the ball, which is kind of sad.
And then in Chaos versus Khemri, I voted for Khemri. You voted for Chaos.
Damn.
I was to win.
Damn.
Yep. McMacky pulling it again in a game where he appears to have removed all of Zayzeta's players with KOs, though he took a few in.
Damn. What were the KO rolls?
Khemri tend to have a much deeper bench than Chaos, so they can usually sustain a bit more injuries before things get.
I suppose that's true. I was going to say that like the Chaos tend to have better like kill skills or more kill skills, but if you have like a massive bench, I guess that doesn't really matter.
Yeah, so the way Khemri lose, of course, is like if the attrition game starts rolling into their Tomb Guardians, if they're only losing skeletons and maybe the odd like strength 3 piece, it's not a. If your Tomb Guardians start going down and staying down, then yeah, you lose.
Yeah. Rebellious Scions and Nurgle FTDs. We both predicted that the Nurgle would take this, and they did. 2-1. Another 2-1 Nurgle game. Gonorrheus the Pustulant is 3 SPP from Legend.
Spoilers, he's a legend. He just didn't get it this game.
Yes.
Oh, his legend skill was guard, pretty unsurprising.
Looking at these Nurgle warriors with all these skills is making me sad. I've lost 3
it's
Nurgle
also a
warriors.
Movement bust and an agi bust.
Agipus is irrelevant, and the movement bust is kind of irrelevant when you've got stand firm.
Yeah,
I've lost 3 Nurgle warriors in the last like 5 games.
Nurgle only
it's
made
so bad.
27 blocks that game and got 10 removals. Like they ran out of elves to punch immediately.
Yeah, and then you can kind of do whatever you want. Although the elves still managed to get a touchdown despite not having any elves, which is certainly a thing.
Scooby and the gang versus the ChorFs. We said the Necro would win, and they did. Our top of the table team continues to do top of the table thing.
I wish I could still do top of the table things. I'm not top of the table anymore. A little bit. My last 4 games have been garbage. Anyway.
Yeah, it sucks when you're in that kind of a
death
thing.
spiral. Yeah.
They punch the shit out of each other. 6 Kaz to 4 Kaz.
5 KOs too.
ChorFs getting the slightly worse end of it, which is surprising given that they took fewer blocks, I should say, and obviously the ChorFs have more kill. Bit surprising, but maybe we're getting better blocks out of it. Maybe just got a bit unlucky. Who knows?
Well, I mean, if I could stop losing Nurgle warriors and I could stop being out armor broken by Agi teams, then that would be good. But that hasn't happened in the last 4 games. Then we had Grungy Desserts and Not an Anime Sports Team. We both predicted the Nurgle would take this, and we were both wrong.
Yeah, I remember Tself being like, "I don't know why you think the Nurgle are going to win this," and
neither do I.
I feel proven a fool.
I don't remember why we predicted this because it was forever ago. But I mean, 45 blocks resulting in 2 casualties is not exactly how you expect Nurgle to go against elves.
Yeah,
that's a Nurgle game that I feel in the deepest like reaches of my soul. That's been the last month for me, and with Nurgle is like, cool, 45 blocks. What'd you get for removals? Nothing. Lost a Nurgle warrior. Great. I'm just gonna complain about my team for this entire review, just so everybody's aware.
Oh, Ben, you're in one of those awful Blood Bowl downswings.
Yeah,
we actually
really
both
is.
predicted the Battle Brothers for the next game, and Archangel took out a win here.
Yeah, we kind of thought that the Battle Brothers would be able to like keep up with the Agi, and they had a lot of tackle and stuff. But it didn't work out that way, it seems. A lot of SPP for the elves.
Not a great week for us. I am at net 0 and you're at -2 for Div 1.
Ouch.
Yeah. All right, you want to quickly go through week 9? We won't get too much into these because we didn't do predictions, so we're just going to quickly go over it and talk about it.
Yeah, and plus we have
for
4 total sets of matches to do. So unless we want this review to take about 4 hours, we're going to have to be quicker than normal here.
Speedy boys. Also, I might pass out at some point. Had a long week.
Fear and Bloating and Grungy Desserts was a 1-1 in the Nurgle off. I expect many blocks and many removals, and then nothing happening.
The middle of
Correct.
the table Nurgle teams faced off, both with 3-3-3 records, and they tied.
Yep. They punched it. That's Nurgle.
If that isn't an expected result, I don't know what is, you know?
Yeah, they punched the crap out of each other, removed the crap out of each other, and then neither of them could win. That seems about right.
Scooby and the Gang versus Archangel's Will. Now, this is an interesting match. Scooby and the Gang giving up his second loss to Archangel, the current Super Bowl champion, who's been having a bit of a rougher season, though as I look at the leaderboard, he's getting them.
Yeah, Archangel making a bit of a run these last 2 weeks to take down a couple probably unfavored, but also important matches.
Definitely unfavored in the Scooby and the Gang match. I mean, he had a wizard, which is obviously, you never count out Wood Elves with a wizard, but Scooby and the Gang's team is filthy.
Yeah, and he's also, top of the table, so he's making a bit of a run here. We might be in challenging for one of those playoff spots after all.
Battle Brothers taking it 2-0 over Rebellious Scions. Not super surprising there. The Bretts are, like we said, pretty well equipped to deal with elves, and Dark Elves, are the punchiest elves, and therefore the ones that are going to stick around long enough to get punched. That said, the Battle Brothers got outpunched by almost 15 blocks, but removed 9 Dark Elves on 25 blocks. Rebellious Scions continuing to have the worst armor and removal dice in the league. McMacky taking a loss here to ArchXL. Nice one, Arch.
Yeah,
That's a fucking upset right there.
not an anime sports team doing some things. Well, I mean, it's, you know, elves, very high agi, very crazy, good ball handling against Khemri, who are the opposite of that. If the elves could like get away and not take too much damage, it's not surprising that they
Yeah, I mean, the
win it.
Khemri attempted one single pickup all game, it looks like, considering that they failed 2 of them, which is a sure hands fail. So they just never had the ball.
They scored somehow, so they had to get it.
Oh, they must have had a touchback or a catch. Yeah, they got
They
3
got a
successful catches.
3 could have been a touchback or a high kick or
Khemri
something.
made 17 successful GFIs out of 17.
Yeah, barely any
That must
armor
have been
breaks.
frustrating for RHXL. Damn. That's an interesting game.
That is an
your
interesting
dodge
game.
dice were pretty fire. Also, you won, so no yelling. Stop yelling.
It's an interesting game. I like how there's like literally 0 removals on the camp. The elves are just like, we're gonna play this game and just ignore the other team, and like we'll do some stuff, and you know, you guys can have your fun or whatever, and we'll see what happens at the end. Like nothing happened for the Khemri. It's the elves kind of like running around. Khemri desperately trying to punch the elves.
Oh man, I had that in. I was playing in the Imperium Clan Cup thing. Our clan lost horribly. I was the only win. But in my game, I was playing against someone. He was like a human league team, so he also had like a smattering of like AV7 and AV. And he made 83% successful armor rolls on 50 blocks that day.
I can't wait for that
Just
to
like
be over,
secret AV9.
so that
It's
I
over
can
now.
start playing
Or,
again.
No, it's not. Rather, it's into the second round now, I think.
Yeah, I want that because everything resets once the Clan Cup thing is over, right?
Yep, and I get extra gold going into the first real season.
Yeah, I wish
Makes a lot of people salty, but whatever.
I wish I could have done that, but I had a lot of work stuff going on. I stepped out of Imperium for like 2 weeks because I just couldn't commit the time due to both work and being sick. But I'm really looking forward to starting it again. If I could
glad that I
like,
bombed out.
if I had to play
this week would have been tough.
one Blood Bowl league, I'd probably play Imperium. Like I would quit every other Blood Bowl league I'm in and just play Imperium.
I'd play REL and Imperium. I really like my REL team.
I don't anymore.
Yeah, I know. You should start something new, something less.
Well, I gotta
gross.
finish this one first. Oh no, if I start a new REL team, I'm doing something dumb. Like I'm playing goblins or ogres or something for a season.
I'm sure that will definitely reduce your tilt.
Oh, I'm not
anyway.
really tilted about it.
I know. I'm just razzing you. So that was a really exciting match. We kind of went into the weeds on that one. But next up is some more middle of the table Nurgle versus Ace Struck & Co. It's a 1-1 tie, and a Nurgle versus ChorF. Who would have guessed?
Bunch of blocks, 4 casualties, 2 casualties. Oh, the
Pantheon Passers getting a tie against Nurgle FTDs. This is a bit surprising. You
Nurgle
would
basically
expect-
didn't have a team against that, and it ended up being a tie. But just
Still
so we're aware.
removed most of our Tself's team
I was
because
looking at the
Tself's
ChorF
team
one.
auto removes.
But yes, in this one. Wait, I was looking at the wrong team. I was like, wait, 6 passes from the Nurgle? But no, that's Tself. That makes sense. Yeah, just KOing the bejesus out of the elves. I was talking about the ChorF team, the ChorF game, where the Nurgle had like 9 KOs against them or something. They just like didn't have a team.
And then High Fivers versus Ars Gotia. Zayzeta not quite able to pull out a win in a game where it looks like he had pretty dominant pitch control. He was causing a lot of KOs and injuries. Depends on when they happened, of course, but not quite getting there, despite the 60% failed armor rate for High Fivers. You
Killed his Rodder.
I'm
Excellent.
proud of you. Well, that's an interesting round, actually. A lot of surprising things, and I know Div 2 has a ton of surprising results.
So nothing's actually
Dubskull OP, I see.
nothing.
One of those games.
Nothing is. Yeah. Oh God. Two of my games in a row.
No, stop. Shh.
Both my REL game and my 80 English game, I lost because I had a 2-die sack on the ball that I rerolled into Dubskulls. But 2 games in a row, I lost because of sacking the ball with Dubskulls twice. Ah! 2 games in the same week. I was so mad.
No, brah. I'm not tilted, brah.
No, I'm not. I think it's mostly funny. But after that, this is what the leaderboard looks like. Scooby and the gang, Scrabble Scrabble, 702 at the top of the table.
Yeah, all those upsets, it didn't really change much on the table, it must be said. I think this is exactly how it looked last time we looked at it.
Pretty much. McMacky up there, Z-Zeta right behind, and then ArchExcel, Archangel, and Tself are all basically neck and neck for that that fourth playoff spot currently, all with 4 wins. But you know, 1 win behind are Stouticus, Red Joker, and Clerics. So it's not really that unreasonable for any of our sort of top 9 teams to be in playoff standing at the moment, and that can be sort of shown.
Yeah, we're looking pretty close to my prediction, I think.
A pop-up Draenar's handy dandy little division predictor thing, which is very fun. I don't know if that's on screen. Yeah, there it is.
Oh, can you do my division? I want to see what my odds of making playoffs are.
We really want to. Scooby and the gang and Khemri do it. Yes, we can. Have basically locked it up. They're kind of the highest probabilities for 1 and 2. Nobody else has a shot really at the first spot. Although Z-Zeta is challenging for 2nd, certainly. But those 2 are definitely well, not definitely, but it's like 99% going to the playoffs. But like I said, all the way down to like, you know, Tself, Grungy Dessert, Sphere and Bloating, Battle Brothers, they're not out of the running for playoffs.
High Fivers have a 0.01% chance.
And technically the Rebellious Scions have a 0.01% chance to make the Challengers Cup. So like, you know, that's the thing. Nobody's mathematically eliminated. But yeah, it's the sort of those teams at the top. My predictions were McMacky and Travel, so they're up there, and then I had Z-Zeta, who's 3rd, and then Stouticus and Tself. So my 3rd and 4th my 4th and 5th have dropped off a little bit in replacements of ArchExcel and Archangel's Will. But there you go. You wanted me to look at yours, you say? We can do that, I suppose. Like, okay,
we don't have to do it on stream. I'm just teasing.
Sure. What div are you in?
4B, D, one of those 2.
Okay, well, let's see. I know what's your team name?
I'm in 4B.
Oh, well, you told me the wrong one then.
I lied.
You're not making this very efficient. 4B?
No. 4B or not 4B.
There.
I have to wait for it to populate on your screen. I have a 5.7% chance of making. Oh, that's
I didn't change the playoff spots. There's only one
fine.
playoff spot,
I
right?
think there's only one, so I have a 5.7% chance.
There you go. It's 1 playoff and 1 challenger, right?
I think so, yeah. Oh no, now it's a 6.1%. We're getting up in the world.
Well, it can change. It's because I'm using the sort of Draenar's predictor rather than just random coin flips, which is kind of based off touchdown differential. It's basically the thing that I did in the Excel document that one time. So it can change depending on, you know, the run. And it would be more consistent if I increased the number of sims, but then it takes forever to run. So I didn't want to run with that and waste time like we're doing now. So teams and then predictions, I guess, right?
Yep.
Run.
So ArchExcel's team, he didn't have one last time I looked at it, and he doesn't have one still, pretty much.
Yep.
Not Cinderella 9 is movement busted. Initiate Ozianus is just MNG'd. That's nice. The plus movement blodge step guard lineman. Pretty damn good.
Yeah, the step looks like it's fairly new considering he's 76 SPP. And
you the predictor's still up. You need to take it down.
Oh, sorry. Ooh, boop. There we go.
I like that it was perfectly covering the teams list. You couldn't see shit. It's perfect.
I didn't make a new scene for it. I just made it a source so that I could pop it up rather than having to do a new thing because I did it quickly. Maybe Girls in Panzer is about to level. We've got blodge, tackle, sidestep, diving tackle, and a niggle, unfortunately. But what's the next? What's the next level for that? He's like a very annoying defensive piece.
Fired? No, I don't know. I mean, not fired because you can't afford to fire him, of course. But the next one on that.
ArchExcel suggests jump up or fired. So there you go.
Yeah, I guess you jump up or fired.
The thrower, not a gross thrower yet. He doesn't have all the crazy throwing skills, but he does have movement 7, which is Actually really handy. Movement 6 throwers on an elf team are kind of annoying. And he's got block as well to keep him around. Then a bunch of catchers. There's nothing crazy on this team really. Like the MNG'd lineman is kind of the most ridiculous player. And you know, the blitzer, the strength 4 blitzer is really, really good as well.
Still not Megalobox is not worth overlooking, certainly. But yeah, nothing too crazy. He's lost a lot of crazy players.
Yeah,
in the last
unfortunately.
Definitely rebuilding right now, but still pulling out good wins, so not actually rebuilding, whatever. Sitting at 4th place, could totally go to playoffs with a 1400 high LT.
Yeah, it's 1400 is a little low for sort of Div 1, but I mean, there are a lot of teams that are good at reducing your team value in this div. Put it that way.
Truth. Next up is Ace Truck & Co. Looking as chorfy as ever. Pico is
Gross.
MNG'd because he got niggled on one of his first games and has subsequently just like been utterly useless and died every match. Continuing that. Mace, second son of Ace, is still around because he's the only player that can do anything on this team. The plus movement on Niederlander, I think, is new.
It is, and I was going to ask you about that. What do you think? I mean, he's the ball carrier, so plus movement is pretty good, I suppose.
I think if you're ever going to get plus movement on a ChorF Hobgoblin, it's that one. I don't hate it.
And I don't hate it, but like on most teams, I'd be like, cool, movement on the ball carrier. I just feel like maybe it's not going to get as much use as you'd like, because now you're like almost twice as fast as your ChorFs, which is, you're going to get away from your team really quickly, but it will help on those like 2-turn attempts, or like on that like, oh man, I need to make sure I score on turn 16, like to save a GFI and that kind of thing.
Yeah,
like, it'll come in
Going from
handy.
6 to 7 is really big because it means you can 2-turn without GFIs.
Yeah,
and even if you get pushed back a square, you're not too far out of it. It's a big bump. Certainly, I like the movement there.
Yeah, I just think it's maybe slightly less valuable than it is on a lot of other bash teams, just because you're going to outrun your whole team if you actually utilize it.
He does have the money to replace Pico, and I wouldn't hate it. There's no point in keeping a niggled one, even if it has 5 SPP.
Yeah.
Like, Bull Centaurs take blocks. You don't want a niggled one in a division with this much.
No, you do not.
Other than that, still looking pretty good. Nothing too exciting. Dusty Bottoms has gotten a movement bust.
I'm surprised Cinco took dodge over like jump up there, but
say that literally every week.
Yep. Well, it's been 3 weeks, so I don't remember these things.
But yeah, we remain surprised.
9ball is still around, but there are 3 Claw Muddy Blow players on this ChorF team, which is certainly scary. Although one of them is moving 3, so he's a lot less scary. If you knock him over, he's kind of irrelevant. Dirty Player Hobgoblin and Tina, I mean, I don't know. If you're probably replacing the Bull Centaur, and then you're not gonna have enough money to replace Tina, so Tina just becomes LOS fodder, I guess.
LOS fodder against a kill team. If not, I don't know. You keep her for a game and then you fire her.
Yep. Nurgle's FTDs, High Lord Salt Sauce. Oh, Nurgle Warriors. How I wish I had you.
He lost one recently, but Gonorus the Pestilent has picked up a legend level for guard, which is nice. So he's got 3 basically, perfectly complete Nurgle Warriors.
Yep. If you don't roll anything like extra, that's kind of how you want to build them. Block, Mighty Blow, Claw, Stand Firm, Guard. What else do you get? Well, one of them happened to get dodge.
You know what this team is missing, Ben? A bench.
That is true. A bench would certainly be handy. Depending on the match you're going up against, but for the most part you don't really care. It feels kind of annoying to buy Rotter sometimes because you get them for free, and the time that you buy a Rotter is like the next game where you're going to get a kill, and then you're like, damn it, why did I do that? And you kind of need to, when you have a high TV, you want to keep the money around in case you lose a Nurgle Warrior, because you're probably not going to win a lot of money from matches because of spiraling expenses. So it kind of feels bad, but I think he needs to probably grab at least one Rotter here. I would buy a Rotter.
Tself killed the DP. Yeah, he needs probably to buy one and then to sit around and try not to go too low.
Yeah.
In case he loses.
There are 3 legends on this team.
Yep. And then we have Zayzeta with all the tentacles. Only 1 legend. Try harder. Though Tanagor's is certainly getting there. Probably going to get Stand Firm on him as a legend level, I would guess. I wouldn't take Piling On a strength 4 piece. Maybe Tackle.
Blodge Guard, Stand Firm, Tentacles. Oh, so
you
annoying.
Got 3 Tackle and a Frenzy. I don't think you need.
I love it.
I don't think you need more tackle. Looks like Zeta had to replace a... Oh, never mind. That's the same block warrior that's existed for 15 games.
They're so hard to level sometimes. I mean, easier for Chaos because Edgy 3, but like, oh man. Sometimes...
Hard to level in Div 1 where you don't really have the, like... Most of your games are not going to be, like, super dominant. You're gonna...
Yeah, in Div 1, Div 2, when you lose... You know, when you're a big scary Chaos team or a big scary Nurgle team, sure, like you're the big scary team, but if you ever happen to lose like a warrior on a random block, it sucks so much because for that exact reason, they're really hard to level. All of your games are generally pretty tight, and a lot of them matter because there are so many playoff spots. So most of the time you're not in a position where you can afford to maybe tie or maybe lose the game for a chance at getting a warrior level. Most of the time you just have to take the score and not try the risky thing to get the extra SPP. So it takes them so long to level, and it's really, really unfortunate. I know that pain so much. I know that very well.
Before you start talking about Nurgle Warriors again, I think Zay is probably going to pick up another Beastman here so that he can have an LOS of Chax, Nafala, and a Rookie. Yeah, because 12 is a bit low for people for this TV, though he doesn't have DP, so it's a bit different, but...
Eric Angel.
We were talking about your upset win versus Travel Scrabble, which was pretty cool. We didn't predict that week, obviously, because Ben was super ill. But
yeah, I'm still a little bit ill, honestly. Then we have High Fivers, Uber the Noober, Necro team, in the order that I don't like, although it's at least in sort of an order. We have paid the Flesh Golem tax recently, it looks like, because there is only one.
Yeah.
Although the one that's available is a good one. You know, block guard, grab, mighty blow.
And that's a really bad piece to take a movement bust on too. This is a...
Oh, that white.
He's got a new werewolf. I think this team has kind of imploded in the last few games.
I mean, a little bit. He's got one good white, but he's got a Nurgle. He's got a good...
Oh, Al Bundy is dead. And did you...
Yep.
Do you not see that? Yeah.
He's dead.
Yeah.
Rip. Yeah, we've got Bud Bundy and Blank. His name
Blank the werewolf. Yeah.
That's really unfortunate. Al Bundy was this team.
Just a hole where Uber the Noober's heart used to be.
Yeah, I was really sick last week, Archangel, and then I didn't manage to find it. It took me forever to get better, and then I didn't manage to find the time to do one on my own between work and other stuff, unfortunately.
And we're both kind of getting like pummeled by real life right now, so we've been kind of checked out of REBBL, unfortunately.
Yeah, I wish I had more time for things, but there are too many hobbies, too many commitments, too many work things. Scar is a reasonable ghoul, but he's also movement busted. Like this team is in a rough spot. It has a chance at like coming back because there's still like a bit of a core there. But if you lose like another important player or take another bad injury, I mean, I would consider changing teams next season. It's getting a little rough. Especially with that Wolf out or Wolf gone, and your next match is going to be pretty hard, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
We got Fear and Bloating by the Red Joker. Another Nurgle team, another thing with lots of skills. Beast is 2 SPP away from getting something. He's got block guard, or he's got stand firm guard. So you kind of pray for doubles or take break tackle maybe, but then consider recycling after that. If you don't find like the block or something silly, break tackle is another pretty good option for those times where you get tied up on like one zombie or whatever. But after that, there aren't that many other good skills unless you happen to roll doubles or something. Bunch of Nurgle warriors. Most of them are good. They're all really good actually. Thought Ho Rotma, which is a great name, is a ways away from Claw, but that's what he's gonna grab next. But he at least has block mighty blow, which will accelerate that a little bit, and all the other Nurgle warriors have guard, so that's handy.
Yeah, it's a pretty solid team, to be honest.
Yeah,
Gishmal Gores is still the sacking
monster.
I was gonna say sacking beast, and then like he's actually a beast, so this doesn't really work out.
Yeah, and then the Tradagor, we got a good Pestigor ball carrier, and then like a support, like he can blitz, but he's also good guard. Dirty player rotter, and then a bunch of random rotters, which is basically what you want. Take Yaza the Great and replace him with Yaza of Mucus, and I would play this team all day, every day, forever. Or my beast even, is block. But I love this team.
Passers. Every time I open up this team and Elvalon is still alive, Elvalon, or I die a little on the side. How is a double niggled player not dead?
It's a good question.
Has he always been movement busted? Is that new? No, I think he's been movement busted for it.
Plus Agi, plus strength, wrestle, strip ball, dodge. Oh god, he's so annoying.
Yep.
Like these team, like oh man.
He's a movement up, AV busted vamp with
no. At some point, elf teams just become impossible. Like with Sif Muna, with Elvon, with like those two blitzers, like it is basically impossible to beat this team because in like just you on defense, what do you do? Or like even on offense, what do you do?
You have to like double screen your ball, or you have to like build like particularly like cages that are particularly resilient to leap or dive, so you can do like an elongated cage with a player in the middle to at least force a red die. Like you can do things with guard.
It's pray you have better players, or pray that you remove elves, otherwise you have no hope of winning, like almost any team. Although you know they are elves, right? At any point they are a few bad dice rolls away from not being elves anymore. So you know there is that you have to be aware of.
You just kill them. That's how you beat the team.
Well, try telling that to my team. Killing elves is not a thing. No, it's surprisingly not. It's weird.
Lazarus's team is becoming more and more just Yaza of Mucus.
That's fine.
He's got a brand new Nurgle warrior. His Pestigore, his Blodge plus movement one is niggled. No, just MNG.
Yeah, he's on his way to being good. There's certainly a good core here. The problem is the Nurgle warriors. But they have block. They all have block guard, and one is block mighty blow.
Well, one does not have anything, but yes.
Yeah, he's one SPP from leveling though. If you can get him block, then
yeah, I mean this would be a pretty solid Nurgle team in like REL 4B.
Yeah, fair.
Like why did it lose though?
It's a very good because Discord is being a little screwy sometimes. It's a very good Nurgle team. It's just not as good as some of the other teams in Div 1, right? Like that's kind of the thing. It's a really good team. It's just it doesn't really compare to some of the other ridiculous teams in this Eternal League. And there's some really good players too. Man, Yaza is like I think honestly the best player in the league. It's ridiculous. I love that.
Solid, yeah.
I love that Nurgle warrior more than I love anything else, or that Beast of Nurgle more than I love anything else.
All right, you talk about McMacky team. Mackie's team. I'll be right back.
McMacky team. Will do. Anything that's newish here, it's hard to tell because Khemri. You know, we've got the two Blitzras are both still there blitzing selves. Mighty Blow Tackle piling on guard grab, and then Mighty Blow Tackle Juggernaut. So we've got the like definite greedy kill option, and the I need to shift or I need to knock over this player now option. And then the Tomb Guardians, smattering of the skills that matter, taking Mighty Blow basically first to accelerate their leveling. Block on one of them, guard grab, stand firm, guard. Excellent. Wrestle Tackle Skeleton is fun. Dirty Player Skeleton is fun. And then the two Throw Raws. One is we've talked about this before, how he's like the sort of dwarf school of Throw Raws, where one is the defensive one and one is the offensive one. Wrestle Tackle Frenzy. Frenzy is new, and that's kind of interesting. Just an extra shot at trying to hit the ball. As long as you can make sure that you're not frenzy trapping yourself, it's pretty good. And with a decent amount of guard, it's not unreasonable. You wouldn't mind a couple guard skeletons if you can be lucky. And fend, kick off return, block, dodge is basically, you know, all you can really get on a ball carrying throw raw. Sorry. He would love to grab some other like stats of any kind, you know, agi or movement would both be excellent there. But you could say that about pretty much any ball carrier. Basically, once you have Blodge Shore Hands, any ball carrier for any team would do great with any stat other than armor, really. So 4 more SPP, he'll get to roll those dice again. If he gets normals, I don't know what you take. Kick off, return, fend, block. That's pretty much all you really want. You could go leader and try to save a reroll. You could start taking... I don't know what else you take. There's not really that much in terms of good options. You could take some more defensive skills in case you lose some skeletons, but you've got a decent enough bench, so... I don't know what you take there. I guess we'll have to see when he levels him. And then we have Rebellious Scions by a Velociraptor, who are 1760 Dark Elves despite having, like, 7 players. Or 9, you know. Dark Elves get expensive. That's a real thing. So we've got 3 Blodge Blitzers, 1 Mighty Blow Blitzer. Mighty Blow Tackle, jump up. Excellent. He's praying for more doubles to get, like, piling on, I guess. This Blitzer, he's got sprint and movement, which is kind of cool, along with the sidestep. Then we've got a strength 1 who's also rolled doubles for guard. So strength 4 guard, sidestep, fend is incredible. Like, each of these pieces has a very defined role, and they're very, very good at that defined role, right? This is your, like, fast blitzer to get places, but he's also, like, a good receiving or running threat once he gets the ball because he's hard to knock over and he's very, very mobile. This is your, like, defensive or offensive guarder that's very annoying to shift and difficult to block because he's strength 4. Defensive diving tackle sidestep piece. And then this is, like, the damage blitzer with tackle and mighty blow. The 2 witch elves, the common school of witch elves that I've seen, where one goes block, one goes wrestle. One that went wrestle also went tackle. One that went block took sidestep first and then tackle. Also has picked up Juggernaut on doubles, which is very handy. Juggernaut on Frenzy is very, very cool to try and make those surfs a lot easier. And then fend and sidestep to prevent counter surfing and that kind of thing. And then we get a kick movement blodge lineman, which is kind of the one piece that doesn't have a super defined role, I guess. If this was a perfect world, you'd take these 3 skills and you'd throw them on a different lineman and you just have just kick on him. But at least it protects the kick guy, I suppose. And, you know, taking movement is never a bad thing on an elf team when you have more options. We have the team.
Sorry, I'm finally back.
That's okay. You talk about Scooby and the gang for a moment, please. I need to mute myself and cough a lot.
Sure. Next up, we have the Div leader, Travel Scrabble, words. I mean, his team is still looking incredibly solid. He's got Mighty Blow and coming up on a new level on Minor 49er. He's got 2 tackle, I would consider, and both of his tackle are excellent blitzers. So I would consider going guard. It's one thing this team is lacking is a good guard spread.
God, look at those stats.
I know, right? Every time. I don't think there's much else that's new here.
Hello, cat.
Block on the Flesh Golem is new, I think, on Wesley Pipes. Fairly new, at least. He's got a crazy good bench, too. 15 players? That seems a bit excessive with no dirty player, even.
Well, there's like 4 Nurgle teams in this division. You know, you kind of need some armor, as it were.
Some ablative armor, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, really good looking team. Like I said, needs guard, needs a bit more guard. It's only got 3 right now, but clearly is doing wonders without it.
Agi 5.
See why with all, yeah, all this Agi 5, all this strength.
It's gross. I mean, Muttley Jr. is a stupid wolf. He's got Mighty Blow. He's got Strength 4, so he's just going to solo Frenzy stuff now. Doesn't need very much support. The white with Agi 4, Strength 4, the Strength 4 Ball Carrier, which, as we said, is, you know, Strength 4 Blodge Sure Hands is a pretty good counter to getting sacked, it turns out. Although Movement 6 is unfortunate, but that's fine. And, oh man, this team.
All of his players just bring a lot of value and have the exact sort of stat ups you'd want, so...
Yeah, there's nothing wasted here. The only thing unfortunate is the movement bust, really, but it's not the end of the world, and everything has, like, it's basically what I was talking about with the Dark Elves, is like every player has a role, and then they have like the exact things for that role. It's very very efficient.
Yep. And then we have Stouticus, the Nurgle team we both predicted would do the best, I think. I certainly predicted he would do the best. I think I predicted him for the challenge.
Yes.
And yeah, still looking pretty good. Angry Churro has eaten a movement bust, which is unfortunate on your strength up piece, certainly.
Yeah.
Right before he leveled up to get probably guard or tentacles.
Oh, tentacles, man. Tentacles and strength 5, so good.
It's like Prehensile Tail on Black Hole Sunday is new. Mighty Blow on Even Flan might be new.
Although
Sponge Cake Man's kick is definitely new. Or no, maybe I think we saw that before when we discussed that like
Yeah,
kick
it's
would be a
neat.
perfectly fine thing to put on Sponge Cake Man because he's the sacker, so you're gonna always field him on defense. And like Nurgle don't have a place to put kick really other than on a Rodder, and they don't really need it on a Rodder anyway, so rather than get a useless skill on Sponge Cake Man like Big Hand or something like that, you take kick. Because,
yeah, we've talked about that before, and I think it's really good. 3 movement busted Nurgle Warriors kind of sucks, because you're going to be pretty slow, especially since only one of them has Stand Firm. But when they already have levels, it's not worth removing them, because they're so hard to level up. I'd rather have a movement 3 Nurgle Warrior with Block Guard than a rookie Nurgle Warrior.
Yep, Donut in the Holes is a great surfing threat. All Apple Pies is all Apple Pies. Yellow Lead Brownie is an excellent ball carrier. Yeah, I mean, all in all, it's a pretty solid team that can do a lot of things, but it's sustained some Nurgle Warrior damage, certainly, and needs a bit more Nurgle Warrior levels even to get into full grotesque Nurgle mode.
It's pretty good. Really the only thing that... No, I mean, I think it's fine. You'd probably want a bit more... like Claw, Mighty Blow, I guess, on the Nurgle Warriors for those like bash matchups, like Dwarves or other Nurgle, where you end up like slamming your Nurgle Warriors into each other. So having the like Mighty Blow Claw just to try to win those scrums when you eventually get involved in them would be handy. But they have like Guard Block Stand Firm, which is going to also help out in that situation. It's just a different way of doing it. So I think it's totally good. Would be pleased to play this Nurgle team other than the movement busts, I guess.
Yep. And then we
team.
have Archangel's Will, which is looking the healthiest it's been in a long time. I think he's got a
AV
grand
busted
total
tree.
of 9 roster players. Yeah, the AV busted tree has rolled a level up. I assume it's
Plus armor. I want it so bad.
The War Dancer has surprisingly not leveled yet. He got the rookie a level and has picked up Mighty Blow again.
Strength Mighty Blow and Mighty Blow.
Do you think it was worth skipping the second Mighty?
I
don't know if you need another Mighty Blow as much as you need like Strip Ball.
It depends on, I guess, on what order they came in. The Mighty Blow and the Strength
on the tree and doubles on the catcher. So the tree wants piling on, and the catcher wants piling. If you're gonna go kill, just go full kill.
Tree could take multi-block maybe, but there aren't that many good options at strength when you already have stand firm, guard, and grab. Could go break tackle.
Yeah, probably break tackle. I would go break tackle over multi-block.
It depends on what you utilize him for, or how often you find your tree being like stuck up against one zombie, and how much you care.
Well, he's also movement too, so like break tackle isn't all that useful, I guess.
You don't want to go paint?
I don't. So what? Back to the comment about the War Dancer. I think it's probably fine. Like when the entire div is developed, like how many teams don't have sure hands? Like maybe tackle would have been good rather than like I could have made an argument maybe for skipping Mighty Blow for like
it's
tackle.
So difficult to utilize both Mighty Blow and a turn. Like odds are you're a War Dancer. You're movement 8. You can punch with either one at any given moment. Like sometimes sure it's going to be easier to punch with one, but on the average you're just picking which Mighty Blow piece you blitz with.
Yeah, so I feel like I guess it depends on what your matches were like and what you feel like coming up. But I think there's definitely an argument to be made to skipping that Mighty Blow for something, and depending on what that something is.
on the line with a War Dancer.
Excellent. The tree could be multi-block or break tackle, I think, and it depends on how you use it. He who catches unseen is still He who catches unseen. Savari is still Savari. I don't think that's changed. And Irveth has got block, so he's blodge, sidestep, guard. When I said block, I meant guard.
He's got another double. Diving tackle, probably. I think you just skip it. I think I'd take diving tackle, to be honest.
On the guard piece?
Yeah, it's a blodge stepper.
It's also guard. I guess the guard doesn't matter if he's...
You're not going to stand and fight as wood elves.
Yeah,
right?
well, that's what I'm saying, is like on offense, the guard is probably when you're using that. Or like when you're like, when I don't mean offense, I mean when you're trying to like sack the ball or something is when you're using the guard, or you're doing the blocks.
You use it in like a somewhat desperate situation as an assist when you can't get one otherwise. You don't use it as like this is my guard line and this is where I'm gonna stand in the scrum and fight you as what else.
Yeah, and then the diving tackle will be good for the other elf team kind of things where the block punching doesn't matter as much and you just want to like lock up a scoring threat or something.
And last but not least, we have Caloric.
It's an it's an interesting elf team, and it's missing like the standard ball sacking sort of war dancer that you often see, but it's mostly irrelevant in this division, I think. And it's more, the agi plays, the throwing plays and stuff that are going to be things that happen.
Oh, fall asleep.
Yep. Cleric. We still have the blitzers. Nothing relative. We still have 3 agi blitzers. They're all like various combinations of block and dodge and sure hands, and one of them has mighty blow and tackle and defend and sidestep and leader. And...
Yeah, I like the one that's rolled just 5 normals in a row. He's pretty solid. Companion. He's just like really living up to his name, He's even good though, right? Like blodge, tackle, fend, sidestep is very annoying to knock over, and on top of that, you take leader because he's gonna stay on the field forever, and then you can save yourself some TV out of a reroll. For blockers, 1 is gun, mighty blow first over guard, and the other 3 have guard, along with stand firm, and then peasants. Tackle on Lord Porahoy is new certainly.
Yes, mighty blow tackle is
stand
great.
Firm on well armored pimp is new.
Agi 2, but who cares?
Witch hunter stand firm might also be new. Raj firm, pretty solid.
Yeah, it's good.
Scapegoat sells. I think mighty blow is new. He's building another mighty blow guy there. So
yeah, you throw the blockers in and they are annoying with their wrestle stand firm guard, and then you play elf things with all the blitzers. And then peasants are peasants doing peasant things, which is normally stomping on stuff or being fodder, especially when you only field 3 because you have 8 positionals.
Yep. It's still a damn good team, and
so good.
If all blitzers rolled levels like this, I think Brett's would be a lot more popular.
I'm looking forward to 1 minute again. It used to be that you could only play a team for 2 seasons. And it was recently changed so that you just can't start a season with a team that's worth more than 1,500, because they didn't want to they didn't want Eternal League stuff going on in 1 minute.
That's fair.
And my team was exactly 1,500 if I fired 1 peasant, like 1 leveled peasant. Nice. And I was like, hell yeah, we're bringing them back. I lost a dirty player wrestle peasant, but that's the price I had to pay to keep playing them, and I'm very excited to bring them back. They've made 2 good runs of the playoffs, 1 semifinals and 1 finals. We haven't taken the title, so.
Yeah, you made the semis the year I made the finals, and I didn't play this year. So
I made the finals. I lost to Excess in like one of the best games that I've played. It was super fun. I love 1 minute. So prediction for week 10.
First up is Fear and Bloating versus Rebellious Scions. So I didn't actually see Rebellious Scions team, so I'm going to quickly take a look.
Elves.
Still looking pretty solid. Every week they take so many Kaz and so little damage. So on the one hand, ouch, but on the other, you still have a team. So, and Fear and Bloating is
Nurgle.
A Nurgle team with lots of kill skills that will probably murder the Dark Elves.
They have a decent amount of tackle. I think I want to go Nurgle, and that's mostly because the Dark Elves don't have that crazy Agi 5
I think the Dark Elves
piece.
are going to get exactly a wizard pretty much, because they're going to have 140, so they're going to be up to 1900. Yeah, so they get a wizard and 30k, so they may get a bribe or a babe or something like that.
If they had a ridiculous Agi 5 Elf or something, I'd probably go Elves, but as of right now they're kind of the very solid blodge step kind of elves. But They're not gonna have a bench, and they're gonna lose some elves to that Claw Mighty Blow.
And then we have the game of the season, probably. First place versus second place.
There's a lot of big matches this week. There's first place versus second place. There's like third versus fourth. This week could really define a lot of the playoff spots.
Yeah, for sure. What do you think? Khemri versus Travel Scrabble, Necro.
Oh man. Well, my initial gut reaction is Travel Scrabble, but every time I've had the initial gut reaction against Khemri, I've been wrong. So maybe I should not listen.
It is also
to
worth noting the Khemri are going to have inducements.
That's true.
200k or so. Could get a bribe and a wizard even if you scum some stuff.
I feel like,
and if you're gonna scum stuff, this is the game to do it.
I feel like all of the if this was any other Necro team, I think I would take McMacky. But just I think that those the Agi 5 and Agi 4 is going to be difficult for him to deal with. Despite the guard and the strength 5 and stuff, we're just going to be able to run. We're going to be able to tie up Tomb Guardians with zombies, and then the movement 8 Agi 5 is going to be cool, this ball is mine now, goodbye. Or just dodge through stuff and not have to worry about.
Yeah, I agree. That said, it's a big match, so I'm definitely going with Khemri because every time I pick Khemri, it works. So
fair enough. I'll take
the one week I didn't
Scrabble.
predict. Khemri lost, so I think McMacky needs my caster curse to keep going.
I think I'm going to take Travel Scrabble.
I know. I already wrote you down. Grungy Desserts, so Stouticus versus Lazarus. Probably going to be the bigger Nurgle team with the more developed Nurgle warriors.
Which would be...
And the one with the bench. So Stouticus is in a fine position to win this. He's missing the Angry Churro, but he's got a bench over the other guy. He's got a bit more kill. He's got a lot more development. He's got a lot more guard.
It's it's actually interesting. It's neither of the Nurgle team actually has a whole lot of kill. They both have one killer blitzing Pestigore, but both of them are just sort of the block guard school of Nurgle warriors. There's only one Claw Mighty Blow Nurgle warrior on Stouticus's team, but I think the small advantage and the of having the extra one, and then the bench is going to make a difference. Honestly, in mirror matches, the higher TV is generally at an advantage, especially as a Nurgle, because Nurgle inducements suck really bad.
Tself coming in to say that Travel Scrabble is one of McMacky's 3 losses ever last season.
There you go.
I mean, I would not be surprised to see Travel Scrabble take that. He's got a great team for dismantling Khemri. He can easily out-agi the Khemri. If he gets stuck in a punching match, and McMacky's excellent positional skills could make that happen, there's a chance that things could go south pretty fast. But there's a pretty deep bench, so unless McMacky can really remove positionals, he's gonna have a tough time. And admittedly, Travel Scrabble's positionals are tough to remove. A lot of them are strength up, blodge, fuck you. There's not a lot you can do about it necessarily. So would not be surprised at all to see McMacky lose this, but I gotta bet on my boy,
And then in another big match, 5 versus 6 between Archangel and Tself, both of them are on 4 wins, where the third place in the division is 5 wins. So a win here for either one of these teams is really good. And it does a lot for your playoff chances, and does quite a bit to harm your opponent's playoff chances. So this is another big one, and it's an elf off. Tself versus Archangel.
So Archangel's gonna have 1 billion inducements.
Let's figure that out. 1630 plus how many? He's got 9, so plus another 2 is 140. So it's gonna put him at 1770.
Plus so 2 normals probably, so 1810.
So he's 150.
He's got exactly a wizard.
Unless he takes the doubles, because there is a doubles on one of those players.
Yeah, but he's already got guard. I don't know what double you take.
Yeah, if he takes doubles, he doesn't get a wizard. So that's also an argument to take normals, is that you get a wizard if you take normals.
I mean, he can just buy it anyway. It's not a big deal.
No, it doesn't matter. It's just for the bants, yo.
The bants.
Yeah.
The bants are on fire.
So interestingly enough, Tself has the strip ball wrestle. This is the one match where the strip ball tackle sacker matters, because elf teams tend to not have sure hands. Tself doesn't, and Archangel doesn't. So Tself
the Wood Elves aren't going to be caging up and moving the ball up the field, right?
No,
So
they're
like
not.
the Sacker is relevant because he's a credible threat on the ball by himself.
Yes.
But the Wood Elves are also just in a position to hang out in the backfield and then hurl this up and score anytime they need to do that. That said, all of the attrition all of this like nice mighty blow sitting around, none of it has tackle. So he's going to have trouble hitting some of Tself's more developed pieces, causing serious damage. Not that you need mighty blow to take out Elevalon at double niggle.
This game's gonna be like 3-2 or 4-3 or something stupid.
Yeah, probably.
I think I want to go Tself, mostly because it's an elf versus elf match, so they're both going to be able to do elfy things. But Tself has like Agi 5. They both have like guard players. They both have mighty blow players. But Tself's mighty blow has tackle, so if that's like one extra removal over the wood elves, that might make a difference. It turns out removing elves when you're elves helps you win quite a bit as elves. There's a bit more stats and stuff flying around on Tself's team.
Yeah, I vote Archangel because he's a wood elf with a wizard.
Fair enough.
Also because I predicted Tself wouldn't make playoffs, so I have to start betting against him at some point, or else I'm going to just, be sitting here looking like a fool.
I predicted Tself to go, I believe, so I think I have to take Tself, so there you go.
High Fibers versus Battle Brothers. Now, this is a match where I would expect the Nurgle or the Necro to normally do well, but the Necro don't have a team, so it's going to go to the Bretts, I think. They are missing their best white for this game. Their best wolf is dead. They have no Claw Mighty Blow. They just have Claw. But this is going to be a really tough game for them.
I mean, they get like 300k in inducements, but I mean, I think
Cheney, but like even Cheney's not going to save this, I don't think.
No, I think the Bretts are going to be able to do Brett Elfie things, and Brett Elfie sounds like some sort of character. Anyway, I think the Bretts are going to be able to do sort of like elf stuff because they've got like the 3 Agi 4 blitzers. They have the movement to keep up with the werewolves, and there isn't like the super scary werewolf threat anymore with Al Bundy gone. The ghoul has movement 6, so he's not going to be able to like outrun anything. And then in like the straight up fight, I think the Bretts are going to win. They even have Dauntless for that one flesh golem. So I think it's Bretts.
And then we have ArchXL versus Zayzeta. So
which is happening now, and another big match.
Oh, we have to predict quickly then.
Yeah, because Blood Bowl games take about 15 minutes, right?
Quickly. Zayzeta does have sure hands, which is helpful.
He does. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 elves. So plus another 3 when they're what 70k, so 210. So that'll put him at 1670.
Yeah. So he gets a couple.
380.
280, yeah.
Yes.
Or
no, 380. 16.
Yes.
Yes, 380. That's a lot.
This is a lot. A wizard and Eldril, probably. Can high elves get Eldril? I assume they can.
I don't remember. They can get. There's that sort. There's like the really good high elf only elf that I don't remember what his name is off the top of my head. That is probably worth taking. Every time I look up these things.
Tself said Moranian, yeah.
They can't take Eldril, but I'm just thinking of the other one.
The one we're all saying?
Yes, but I'm trying to find what he is. I'm looking him up.
Moron IN. Oh, the high elf only one sucks, apparently.
Oh yes, Prince Moranian or whatever. He's strength 4 Agi 4.
I think he's not the high elf only one.
Oh, he's elf or high elf. So I was thinking of like Soren Hightower or whatever, who does suck. Yeah, I was thinking of him. No. So yeah, I was thinking of Prince, who is good. The elf only one sucks. But yeah, Prince is 230, so that and a wizard are totally on the table.
Sorry, the first game of the Minors playoff just got played, so I was looking at that real quick. The number 2 seed was beaten by the number 8.
Ooh. Yeah, this is tough. Like the sort of game plan for a chaos punchy team versus elf is try to remove elves, and if you don't remove elves, you can't win. Like that just happens sometimes. So it's really hard to predict these things. You'd expect them to remove elves, and if they do, they'll win. If they don't remove elves, they won't win. That's basically how the game goes. Because you're not going to be able to keep up with them. You're not going to be able to like stop them from getting the ball and passing. You're not really going to be able to sack it very well because they're just going to dodge away. You're not going to be able to get into a scrum because they're going to dodge away. Like the way you win is by
tentacles to help
contrasting.
with that at least.
It's strength 4 tentacles though, so it's not exactly the hardest thing in the world, but it is a roll. That's true.
It's still what you only get away 60% of the time, something like that.
Yeah, and it's not a turnover, but it gives you a couple extra hits potentially, and it's hits one at least. It's likely mighty blow hits. But in my experience, tentacles is fake and never does anything. So.
Yep, and those Z does have 3 tackle. I don't know. I could see this going either way, but I think I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with the elves.
It could go either way. Well, I'll go with Zeta then, and we'll make it controversial. Mostly because I don't know.
Many controversial picks. Yeah, I agree. I think it's pretty close.
It's really easy. It could really easily go either way, and it depends entirely on how punchy the chaos teams feel.
Yeah, I mean, it could just be that the chaos show up with their claws on and beat the shit out of RTXL.
Or if they put pillows over their fists, then there's nothing. Like the only way chaos or Nurgle win against high caliber elf teams is by making the elves not exist anymore, and sometimes you don't roll well on armor dice and then or injuries, and then you don't win.
Yeah, if you can't put the elves in a position where you get more than a block a turn, or you're causing them to like drop the ball, then there's nothing you can do.
Not really.
I mean, developed even slightly, like has some reliability skills, is really all elves need to not suck.
Pretty much.
But they're just hit.
Nurgle FTDs versus Ace Truck and Co. So this is kind of a bottom of the table bash off match. 10th versus 12th as High Lord Salt's 2K Nurgle team. Not looking too bad, but with no bench going against Ace Truck and Co.'s 1920 ChorF team with a pretty significant bench and probably going to have a new Bull Centaur. The new Bull Centaur will put them over... We'll put them over the Nurgle in TV, but not a lot over it. They're what? Oh, wow. Bull Centers are 130k.
Yep.
That'll put them 70k over
50,
the Nurgle.
50?
Not a big deal.
Want to be 50?
Have fun.
Thanks, ArchXL. Enjoy. Good luck.
Oh, wait, no, I voted for you. Yeah, definitely good luck.
Or not good luck. I didn't vote for you.
Anyway, I think the ChorFs are probably slightly favored here. No, against a Nurgle team, I'm usually on the Nurgle side with the regen and stuff. There's a lot of Claw Mighty Blow for the Nurgle.
There's a similar amount of Claw Mighty Blow on both sides. There's a similar amount of guard on both sides. The Nurgle are going to be slightly faster in terms of like controlling the scrum. I mean, yeah, Bull Centaurs are faster, but on average, the Nurgle are faster than the Chorfs. And then, foul appearance sometimes happens, regen sometimes happens. So like on average, I think 60-40 Nurgle. So let's go with Nurgle.
Cool.
So that is Div 1, correct?
Yeah.
So let's go look at Div 2A, unless we want to go look at Div 2B, my team, and be sad.
We don't.
Okay. So day 8. Let's see, because we missed 2 weeks. So we're gonna, because I was sick, sadly. So we're gonna have to go back and do these predictions. Let's see. So first we had Orcs versus Norse. We both predicted the Orcs because Oathblow is in kind of rough shape. There's gonna be a lot of loners on that team, and the Greenskin Brawlers took it 1-0. And if I know the Greenskin Brawlers, there was at one point a line of Orcs in a straight line from one side of the pitch to the other that just slowly moved forward with guard and made the Norse sad, and then eventually scored and won 1-0.
And then it was the Rowdy Rebel Rousers, Nurgle versus Orcs, and we predicted the Nurgle would win, and they did. They scored 3 touchdowns, Ben. That's 3 more than you usually score.
So I've won 3-0 as Nurgle before. I mean, it happens in very specific situations, and those situations are the kind where you get 6 casualties, a death, and 4 KOs against Orcs.
Yeah, that's fair.
Where you sustain
secret
1.
of my success. Thankfully, not losing their plus Agi Blitzer. who got the MVP, which is nice.
Yeah.
Sandoon getting an MVP is also nice. The piling on warrior.
Yeah, if you play Nurgle versus another bash team and you just remove that bash team, then, you know, things like this happen. You kind of do whatever you want.
For sure. And then in an upset, the first of 2 upsets we missed, RK lost to Thick, Rich, and Creamy. Jimmy Burrito showing Superfed the Pain, inflicting 12 total removals, 7 of them being casualties.
Oh my.
We predicted the Kislev would win, obviously, and they did not.
Took 7 casualties. Ouch.
Yeah, keep that number in mind. Yeah, not a great game for Superfed. He had to make 14 leaps, which is never a good sign. He had to dodge 24 times. Just always on the back foot, it looks like.
Yeah, Superfed is very much the Kislev coach that if you have to leap, he's losing. It's an emergency tool, not a real tool. So that many leaps means he was on the back foot for a good chunk of it, unfortunately.
And then we have Rats versus Dwarfs. The Rats taking a 3-1 victory, as we predicted the Rats would win. We don't get into specifics, but
Rats taking it down 3-1. The Rats just, 6 casualties, 3 KOs sustained, but it doesn't matter when you're Rats against Dwarves and you just kind of run the ball in and they can't stop you.
Yeah, exactly. And then 4-3. I love this High Elf team. It just produces the most stupid score lines. I predicted the Necro to win. You predicted the High Elves, and the Necro did win.
4-3.
8 KOs and 0 injuries. Elwith Codadal inflicted 7.
I like how the Elves had the ball for 12% of the game and scored 3 touchdowns. It's like one turn. Like
they have a natural 1-turner, so
pretty much. And it's like and then the Necros, it's like Necro took 2 turns to score, Elves 1 turn. Necro took 2 turns to score, Elves 1 turn. Like that's basically how this game went. It looks like 6 KOs inflicted, 8 KOs, 3 casualties sustained, and still like getting 3 touchdowns. But I that's probably how it ended up being 4-3 rather than 3-2 or something like that.
Right. In the I forgot to mention, I saw this come up and talked about him when it happened. Both of Razzlestorm's Storm Vermins died in that Dorf game.
Oh no, that's unfortunate.
Claw Palm Holland and the other one. This is your punishment for not giving Claw Palm Holland Claw Palm. So
yeah, the lack of elves by the end of the game is probably why this is 4-3 rather than 4-4 or like 4-3 the other direction or something. Getting enough removals while also managing to keep the score high enough is how the Necro took that one. If that was a team that didn't have movement 8, right? If that was like an undead team or something, this was very easily a 3-2 for the Elves. But I think that since they have the crazy amount of movement, they're able to keep up with the elf scoring while also doing the removals, which certainly was very handy, and I think is what allowed Murderers Row to take that.
Yep. And then we have Rouge's Gallery versus Fogmire Fenbeast. We didn't predict this one because I believe it was played. You're both coughing. Are you both done?
Yep. Well, she got it after I did.
Inevitably. Rouge's Gallery out removing the Fogmire Fenbeast, it looks like, pretty significantly. Not quite enough to get a win. It can be tough for ChorFs to pull out a win against Lizards, but
64 and 52 blocks.
Crumple. So yeah, just not an easy game to pull out a win in. Hopefully, neither team suffering too much damage.
Both teams slammed into each other and scored on their own drive, and that's basically what happened. Like, there's so many blocks on both sides there.
And then I think this was the non-existent Lizard team versus Fall's Amazons, and Fall just proved to be as unkillable as you'd expect. Kind of extra unkillable, given that the Lizards inflicted 36 blocks and got 0 removals.
Like 1 KO sustained, but probably from a dodge or something.
Yeah, that failed dodge. Just the Amazons just had total control.
Yeah, we predicted Fall would win, and he certainly
76% armor rate certainly helps. 76%. Only failed armor rolls 3 times. Lizards, on the other hand, failed 44%.
Oh yeah.
So one of those games.
And then the week that we did, oh my god, there's a 5-0 win in week 9.
Yep, for the Fogmire Fenbeasts. Jesus Christ.
That's Lizards versus Lizards, and one Lizard team won 5-0. What the fuck?
One of the Lizard teams has a Lizard team, and one does not.
Okay, fair enough. We'll get to that in a minute. These are teams we didn't predict. The Greenskin Brawlers versus the Rowdy Rebel Rousers. So this is what happens as the Nurgle against. So Nurgle versus Orcs twice in a row. one match where you remove the entire orc team, and one match where you remove about half the orc team. Here's the difference: one you win, and one you tie. Like,
Well, the orcs in turn removed you, so that was part of that, certainly.
yeah.
Then we have RK versus Oathblow. RK tying it up 1-1, but taking 24 armor breaks on 45 blocks, 7 KOs and 7 injuries. Actually, 9 casualties.
9 casualties.
Almost as bad as my game this season. Almost.
Well, Superfed has taken a bit of a beating these last 2 weeks. We'll have to see what his team looks like.
He's had a pretty miserable run these last 2 weeks.
No.
Is he still in first?
No.
He's dropped down to 4th. Yeah, really, really bad timing.
Yeah.
Certainly.
Well, we'll see. We'll see if he can finish off the season strong. But every once in a while, you go through these periods. We've all had it where you you have a couple unlucky games and it makes your next games harder. Or
death spiraling with AV8 teams is particularly dangerous. It's just like so much easier for you to sustain that damage. And like when you're a strength 3 AV8 team, you've got nothing to fall back on, right?
Yeah. If I shouldn't say necessarily unlucky, but if you play a bad game or you get unlucky in a game or something, and then you to the point where
I think it's fair to call 9 casualties on that many blocks unlucky.
Yeah, but I'm trying to be general here, not specific to Superfed situation. If you have if you play a bad game or you're unlucky for a game or two, and to the point where it makes your next games harder, it can be really hard to recover, and you end up in kind of a weird situation sometimes. We've all been there.
Death spiral, yeah.
Not even necessarily a death spiral, but like a lose spiral.
Yeah, that's fair. You just even if you're just carrying MNGs, it's just like you never have a full team.
Yep.
And then we have Rats Against Teen Stars was a secret of my success. Orcs are always tough for rats. They have the strength to punch them out, and none of that wasted claw stuff. And looks like the Orcs weren't able to win, but they were able to punch the rats a lot. And,
especially since the rats didn't have. They lost both of their Stormvermin, right?
Yeah, they didn't have the kill potential at all. So
they had to rely entirely on the speed, and with the amount of guard and stand firm and strength and stuff that exists on the orc team, it can be really hard to get that opportune sack or whatever to try and steal it away to make it 2-1. It's pretty easy to get your own touchdown in your own half, but it can be pretty difficult to stop the orcs from scoring, and you need to, or turn them over if you want to win as the rats. So. Not unsurprising a result there. Hopefully the damage was slightly less bad for Rats Against Teen Stars that time. Hopefully it was all line rats. Thick, Rich, and Creamy and Murderer's Row. 2-0, so we are going to have one Necro in the Necro mirror match. Thick, Rich, and Creamy takes it down. Oh man, Wolf MVP puts him 1 SPP away from leveling. That won't be too hard to get.
They just beat the shit out of each other though. 5 casualties sustained each.
Yep.
Tough game. Who got the regen win? Murderer's Row got 60%. They both got 60%. Pretty even game, all things considered. Thick, Rich, and Creamy was able to take that win. It might not have actually been even. You can never tell by looking at the dice log, of course, but
no,
because it depends on when those things happen.
If there was
one team.
My guess here is that there was one they Thick, Rich, and Creamy scored on their drive, and then there was one unlucky turnover somewhere on Murderer's Row's drive that Thick, Rich, and Creamy was able to take advantage of. Yeah, like Russellford Seabutter says, one big play, which is what I kind of am imagining happened here. Very even until one big turn happened, and that one big turn was enough to make it 2-0 rather than 1-1.
Yeah. And then we have Rouge's Gallery versus Cogs of War 4. Rouge's Gallery taking it out over the Dorfs. Not surprising. This isn't a very guard spammy Dorf team, which is one of the ways they can get around beating ChorFs. It's just by having more blockers, basically. Yeah. And kind of having that pitch control game if they don't immediately get removed by Clawpalm.
This is the Death Roller Dwarf team that has no bench, so...
Yeah. That's just not going to... The Death Roll is going to be very briefly useful, but... If that death is the Death Roller, then I don't want to live on this planet anymore.
No, that was the best Death Roller in the universe.
I said if it was. I don't think it is. Hold on, let's look.
And then what? This is the most ridiculous.
The Coltrane baby is still alive.
This is the most ridiculous lizard scoreline I've ever seen. I mean, I'm honestly not entirely surprised because
I'd like to see, just so we're clear, before we move on, would you like to see what the actual results of that ChorF game were? So let's see. The ChorF game had how many casualties sustained for the... So the Dwarf sustained 6 casualties. Go look at the Dwarf team.
Oh, I missed fall. Am I supposed to look like right now? Look at the dwarf team.
Yeah, no, this is relevant to like what we just looked at. 6 casualties.
This is
sustained.
1140 TV.
Whoa.
Yeah, look at the dwarf team.
Ouch.
5 MNGs are worse.
Both runners out, which is really unfortunate.
Both runners, the Mighty Blow Slayer, the Blodge Guard, Longbeard. Is that a
Ball carrying on a blitzer next game and getting a boatload of inducements. Oof.
yay dwarf inducements? Notoriously good.
Hey, they have like a Slayer. You can induce a Slayer.
Strength 4 Slayer, yeah.
Yeah, no, they're not great.
Also, there are 3 unplayed games for this week. It's Friday. Guys
Well,
are so keen.
Apparently, Fallen Wonders and Felwith's Cotadal. Less ridiculous for the High Elves this time, only getting 1 touchdown instead of 3. Fall also only getting 1 touchdown. Fall taking 6 casualties, and the High Elves taking 2. I'm really surprised by this. The High Elves.
This High Elf team is like unreasonably punchy all of the time, and I never understand how.
Well, I mean, I'm mostly surprised that the ridiculously statted, like crazy High Elf team that out-removed the less agile team didn't win. They tied. So I mean, well done, Fall, for keeping that. Like, that's got to be well played by Fall to keep it within 1-1. If
Or
you're
some serious nonsense, like Sean Mann winning a clan game last week on a snake.
I don't know.
He was like, all I can do here is force a snake, and he did, and then didn't score, and the guy was able to like tag him up, and like, so now he was in a position to lose, or not to lose, to tie and go into overtime on turn 16 if he failed a 1 and 9, and then of course he made it. And I'm just like, that was the least deserved thing I've ever seen. Though he had shitty dice all game, so it was kind of like,
Sean Mann wins on a
Ooh, is there the water?
Snake Eyes I lose games on, rolling double skulls.
Yeah.
Fair enough. It's got to balance out somewhere.
it's Blood Bowl, baby. Contank, yeah.
I'm mostly impressed that this ended up 1-1 despite like the amount of removals that happened. Like I'm interested to know how that went.
Also, 5-0 happens when one lizard team removes 14 players, which is definitely more than that team has. So
Okay, well, a pitch clear when the Cantankerous Creations literally never had the ball. Were outblocked double by literally double. Yeah. I mean the
it's worth noting 8 players got SPP on Fogmare Fenbeast, and none of them were my source. Why do you hate Francis Drake? Huh?
We knew that the Creations were in a bit of a rough spot. They lost a bunch of their Saurus. They had some good skinks lying around, but like good skinks against another lizard team is not necessarily gonna do it. And when the other lizard team literally, like, man, a pitch clear from a lizard team is against another lizard team is kind of surprising. Armor 9 everywhere. There's no claw, obviously, and there's not often a ton of Mighty Blow lying around. At least not enough to like literally pitch clear 6 Saurus, or 5 or 4, however many there were. But still, that's a lot. Like and man, really running up the score and taking advantage of the SPP gains there. Like, so that's ridiculous. Oh, apparently the high elf rolls went bad right when he needed them. So, but still, even if that only happens, like if that happens once or twice, you'd still expect the high elves to score more than once. So,
could have just made it messy enough that he couldn't quite manage the score.
That's impressive. I mean, I'm impressed that you kept elves to 1 without having players. So after that, well, okay, so
now let's quickly go through the teams.
Well, I'm gonna look at the leaderboard. It's
such a lie right now because half the games are played.
Yeah, I mean, so I'm not going to talk about it in depth because I don't want to figure out which teams have already played, since most of them have already played. We'll look at it next week. This is what the team looks like. The board looks like. 3 teams are at 6 wins. One of them is 1 point ahead with 1 draw over that. And then there's a couple 5 wins and stuff. But like, I'm not figuring out who hasn't played yet or not. But right now, 3 teams very, very even within each other for the top spot. And we can look at the div predictor as well really quickly here. So this is also going to be a little screwy because of the games that have gotten played.
It knows when games are played, so that's fine.
It does, yeah, but it's not going to be totally even. So it's not as straightforward as it is in some of the other divs, I guess, because there's less playoff spots. But there's still a lot of close. Like we said, the top 3 are very close.
How many? There's 3 spots in here. 3 and 1.
Yep.
Yeah.
But there aren't any teams with like a 98% chance to make it like there are in Div 1. Even the Rowdy Rebel Rousers could have a 8.9% chance for 4th, 6.1 for 5th, 4.2 for 6th. Could go all the way down to 9th in very unlikely scenarios.
Thinking 1 through 4th makes like things being like a sure deal at this point a lot easier, I guess.
Yeah, they're
from a
all
statistics point of view.
they're
One
all
extra ticket makes a big deal.
Yeah, well, they're all very close to each other, so these could easily swap around. But then, like, Fogmire Fen Beasts, Felwith, Kotodal, Greenskin Brawlers are all, like, have a reasonable... they're probably not going to make first, but they have a pretty good shot to come, like, 3rd or 4th. So they're not out of it by any means. So there's still, I mean, even all the way down to Rats against Teen Stars, like, it's all close there, and then suddenly there's a massive drop-off, right? It's a very... divisive division, right? We've got like the top 8 and then the bottom 5, and the bottom 5 are kind of just out of it. Like Cogs of War 4 right now have a 92.8% chance to come last. They're not in a good spot. But it's like there are haves and have-nots in Div 2, certainly.
Yeah, for sure.
Teams.
Crown Jelly has a team.
He has a team again? He didn't have a team last time we looked at it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 whole players. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tackle players.
He still has a Hail Mary pass plus Agi thrower. Which
how
is...
could you say plus Agi, Hail Mary pass, and then stop? Like, that's the only thing he has that's relevant. Tackle, Mighty Blow, accurate.
He's just...
Black Francis is a beast. We've got a new Yeti to like replace the...
I don't know what Black Francis is supposed to do, right? Like
win. All he does is win.
Mighty Blow tackle, sure, that's a set of skills. Accurate and Agi, sure, that's a set of skills, but they don't go together. And then neither does Hail Mary pass. It's like he's trying to do 3 things simultaneously instead of just doing one thing. And I don't get it, but it's great.
I don't understand.
It's really
Yeah,
it's great. I love it, but I don't get it.
In general, this team is looking a little bit battered still. I mean, Mustadio is a Palmer with AV 6 and movement 5. It's a bit scary.
Yeah, there's a lot of tackle here.
Yeah, I mean, if this team doesn't utterly tear you apart, Fall, I don't know what Blood Bowl is.
Crown Jelly is a national treasure.
100%.
I've played him. Very nice
I've also
dude.
played him. Though Chubstep managed to lose against Amazons in clan with dwarves.
Yep.
While getting like the shit kicked out of him, like 2 dead.
Just Chubstep things.
Just Chubstep things. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he didn't have much of a team last time we looked at it, but he looks like it's recovered quite a bit. I mean, there's still a lot of injuries lying around, so you're carrying a couple movement busts.
One Ulf. He needs to pick up a second Ulf. That's a really important piece, obviously. But
it's recovered a lot from where it was last time, and he's still got he's got the pieces to do well against dodge heavy Agi teams. The bash matchups are probably still going to be pretty difficult for him, but it's not as bad as it was.
Too much tackle, but it's a pretty good team.
The secret of my success. The Orcs.
Rusty Sea Butter.
Mr. Russellford.
Looking pretty good. Not looking too bad for that last Nurgle match that he just had. I haven't looked to see if he's played this week, so it might be that this is like the reset after that.
I don't know if that's new or not, but he's at 76 SPP, so I assume it is.
Yeah,
The thrower line orc has got kickoff return now.
I'm sorry, I was looking at Dommy Fleet. Dommy Fleet has also definitely picked up grab recently, which is nice. Can kind of help. Well, I mean, you can't one turn. Really,
it's the
movement up.
The other black orc skill that you can take once you've taken guard, stand firm, block, and mighty blow.
You can take break tackle.
I mean, you can.
They're moving 4, so probably not.
Grab is probably more valuable to keep.
Yeah, I do like that. Decatrice is literally just like you going the full orc thrower.
Yeah, he's just an orc thrower, but not a thrower. Hey, he's got armor and agi over an orc.
You could have taken kick. That might have been a choice.
Kit on the black orc.
Yeah,
that's not unreasonable. They're not likely to be on the line on defense, certainly. I do like grab because you have that sort of like solid core of black orcs. If you didn't have 4 black orcs that were all block, guard, stand firm, would agree with you, but since you have 4 that are block guard stand firm, you're gonna like take those black orcs and slam them into another team and be like, look, enjoy my strength 4, strength 5 guard stand firm nonsense, and to just keep players stuck up in that where you're going to be able to bully them around. You can use guard. You're not going to have that situation where you have to like, to get an extra block, you're not going to have to push them off of your players. Because sometimes that happens with like bash teams. You're like, well, I can get an extra block here, but if I just get a push, I push him off everybody, and then he gets out of the scrum.
I like this 3+ agi orc nonsense. He's got like passers and receivers. It's not like you when you had your agi 5 orc.
He was
like,
so dumb.
I have an agi 5 orc.
He was
like
so
had
stupid.
no agi 2.
It was great. He just picked up the ball, and then I like there were several times where I like did the math out and I was like, nope, it is actually better for me to click the ball and click the end zone than it is for me to try to block these guys out of the way. Like it's more likely for me to score by just going, hey, agi 5 end zone, than it is for me to like do a couple orc blocks.
Really funny.
It was
have
excellent.
Jimmy Burrito and Thick, Rich, and Creamy coming off the back of a couple of good wins.
Strength 4
certainly.
agi 4 blitzer on this orc, by the way, is really neat. That's a lot of stats.
Yeah, Solo Vexer is a beast. He's approaching Legend, where he will pick up Mighty Blow. I don't know, Rusty. What are you going to give him at Legend? Anyway, yeah, I mean this is a pretty good Necro team. It doesn't have the stat ups of Travel Scrabble, obviously, but it's got
guard
a combo.
probably. I like that it's an orc blitzer who doesn't have Mighty Blow yet, and he's like 10 SPP away from being Legend. That
Yeah,
like
I mean,
Mighty Blow's
actually,
like their
guard
first skill.
Guard is probably better.
Anyway, yeah. What was the name that you said? It was some mix of Timmy and Jimmy or something that I liked a lot. Jimmerthy, yeah. Jimmerthy Burrito.
It looks like Jimmerthy Burrito has lost a flesh golem, unless I'm missing it. Yeah, he's paid the tax again. He's only got Havarti, Mixie Farty. The other one is dead.
Probably not Provolone is
really
at the
lacking.
bottom because
Fuck you.
because Jimothy Burrito really hates like putting his team in a good order.
All right, well, a rookie flesh golem is almost as bad as a dead one. So he's only got 4 guard, which is pretty good still for.
I mean, with only 4 natural guard access, 4 is kind of dead average.
It's true.
I mean, 2 of them are on zombies, which is not average, but it is 4 guard.
Is he missing a white?
Yes, I think.
Okay. I was like, he's definitely missing a positional. I'm not blind. Anyway, so yeah, he's got a rookie flesh golem and no second white, and he has 4 guards. So kind of tells you that his team was in a good spot before, but now needs to do a bit of rebuilding.
The movement 8 ghoul is really good too. He's blodge, sure hands, fend as like all the ball carrier skills, and then extra
keep
movement.
Up with the wolves, yeah. That's
And
really nice.
It's actually reasonable to attempt 1 turns on movement 8. Like, while theoretically possible on movement 7, it's like kind of difficult to the point where it's not necessarily worth it, unless you really need it to win, and you might as well try. But with movement 8, on that turn 8 shot, instead of going for damage, you could probably try for a 1 turn and not be too displeased with the outcome.
Sure.
Yeah, Killer White not being around is certainly unfortunate. The other one has Mighty Blow, but he's more of the guard stand firm dodge type, rather than the Killer Blitzer, especially since he's movement 5. But the zombies are nice. Block guard, block, dirty player. I like the zombies, but the white being gone is certainly unfortunate, and the rookie flesh golem is a problem.
He really
as
needs
well.
to work on some positionals, and
Until then, he's got 2 gross wolves though.
Yep, and then we have Oververt and his not Dorf team. It doesn't exist. See, there's no Dorfs.
Not anymore. It's the Coltrane baby is still around. I applaud Oververt so strongly for this team, and I think I said at the start of the season that I love this team just because we've got a Death Roller Dwarves, and he's just committing to it. And now he's got like piling on block, grab, guard. It's incredible. But after that last game,
doubles, you definitely give him jump up.
Oh yeah, duh. He took
Actually,
Paladin.
1 jump up. Why not? Let's go.
Yeah, duh.
And then we have Not for Science's High Elf team, who just keep beating the shit out of people. Just not elfing them to death, just literally punching them to death. I mean, he does have a palm blitzer.
The Dwarves next game, they're not going to have any runners, which is really unfortunate, especially since the runners are basic. This team is runners and the Death Roller, because all the other Dwarves are just Dwarves. They've got guard, whatever. But the runners are good, and the Death Roller is good, and both runners are gone, which is super unfortunate.
Are the runners good, though? Which one is good? The accurate one or the one with pass?
I mean, they're the only players with skills.
That's fair. This is an elf team with
Like,
3 Agi 3 players.
It's also 2,400.
Or like a mandolin.
Yep, it's now probably winning in the league for highest TV because Superfed got trimmed and FD's been trimmed, I know.
Oh,
So 2,400
okay.
is probably the most.
There are more. Every single. There are 3 players on this team that don't have a stat bust.
Okay.
Yeah, one of them is the natural one-turner with... He's got... Was he legend? I think he was already a legend. But yeah, the double plus movement, dodge, sprint, sure feet, juggernaut, in case he wants to blitz a hole himself.
Yep, which is actually really good. Like, the one big advantage that high elf catchers have over other elf teams is strength 3 and the high movement. So you have that as a reasonable strategy. Like, wood elf catchers or whatever are probably not going to be able to do that because
Doesn't
strength
have
2.
grab anywhere, so it's not really reasonable. You still need to Oh, he's a natural one turn. Never mind. It doesn't
Yep.
matter. Juggernaut's great there. Yeah, I totally forgot that he was a natural.
Yeah, it's a really that's like the huge advantage of the high elf catchers over other elf catchers
Yeah,
as
makes the
one
dodges
turners.
a lot easier because he doesn't have plus agi, obviously. So making a bunch of like a -1, -2, -1, -0 dodge is not easy even with dodge.
You can juggernaut away that wrestle or the stand firm piece or whatever, and then make it so you only have to do 1 dodge potentially.
Doesn't even matter if it's a juggernaut or whatever. You just wrestle, or you just juggernaut whatever piece you can get through.
Well, no, but I mean, like, if that piece has wrestle or dodge,
Yeah,
just stand firm, that juggernaut takes care of that. Anyway,
Oh, shit.
then there's 2 Agi 5 players. One of them is like a leap strip baller, although he's strength 2 and armor 7 now, so that's certainly less good. But
you
with
probably get to him now, he's like a weird gutter. He's like a really weird gutter.
he's a really slow gutter runner. I mean,
Oh, yes.
it's still like an uphill against non-sure hands with wrestle tackle strip ball is still pretty good, but in a lot of other teams, unless they're elves here, are going to have sure hands, and then it becomes a lot more difficult. But there's another Agi 5 player to take advantage of potential stripping with Agi 5 Fend Blodge, so he's annoying to sack. A couple guard pieces lying around, absolutely disgusting thrower, and some serious blitzers. You know, jump up, mighty blow piling on an elf, and juggernaut like that. Ugh. Like, no wonder this elf team is removing everybody else, because that blitzer is better than many other kill teams killers.
Yeah, it's awesome. And then we have Fogmire Fenbeast, the lizard team that just keeps on winning.
And got 5 touchdowns in the last game.
Thulek, the plus armor minus armor Saurus, has taken a movement bust. Nice plus AV, idiot.
And then
Just obligatory. I didn't write this.
his legendary skill is going to be plus movement.
Yeah, probably. Francis Drake not getting any love on this team. He just doesn't have enough kill skills to go with his frenzy.
We got a plus strength Saurus now, though. The break tackle guy rolled plus strength, which is
Yeah, that's really good.
incredible.
For Dredge. And now he's got sidestep for
God. Blodge,
Jesus.
sidestep, break tackle, plus strength is like, that is not a Saurus, but okay.
It's really funny though.
He's so good. Yeah, he's an absolute nightmare.
He is, yeah.
Only has 3 guard. Might make bash matchups a little bit more difficult, but I mean,
Not
that's,
that I've seen.
yeah, exactly.
Who needs guard when you pitch clear people?
When you got 4 frenzy, and he does have a decent number of mighty blowsaurus. Puff, the dauntless source, lives by the sea, which, in case you need to block, like this. Okay, so we like laugh and giggle about this team.
Can't talk about Puff. Puff got like 10 SVP last game.
We laugh.
I can't talk about Puff anymore.
We laugh and giggle about this team every time we see it, because we're like, Dauntless Saurus plus Armor Saurus, Frenzy Saurus, but he keeps winning. So, like, very clearly it's working and it's great, but it's just so unorthodox that it's so hard to evaluate. Like, you don't see this very often, and it's like, why would you take that skill? And then he wins games, and you're like, never mind, you're right. I'm just gonna, don't listen to me.
No,
What do I know?
That's not the correct response. Don't result base, like...
Hey, no, result-based,
No.
result, yeah, why not? That's all that matters, right? Winning.
Winning is the only thing that matters.
Well, in a competitive league, right? It kind of does.
Yeah,
So he's winning.
I know what you're doing here.
Agi 4 Skink which is always a nice thing to have. And then a lot of the TV on this team is just on Saurus.
It's
so
a team
great.
with a lot of Saurus and no real skinks. And then next up is Basunda with 3 skinks and no real Saurus.
Yeah.
He's eaten a double movement bust on his
Ouch.
blodge, step, guard, break, tackle 1. That's brutal. He's eaten an AV bust on his block guard. He's eaten an AV bust and a movement bust on his block guard's break tackle. And he has no Crocs and 2 rookie Saurus.
So his next game is going to be 4 Saurus, 2 of which are rookies. One is armor 5 or armor 8, movement 5, and then 3 ludicrous skinks.
Yep.
He's got 560k TV of skinks.
Yep.
The skinks are so good, and they will be able to win games, but it's going to be really hard to keep them around without Saurus.
Oh yeah, the skinks are really good and can win games, but they can't win these games.
No, the next few games are going to be difficult just because there's no Saurus. Like, they're really good and they can win games, but you still need the Saurus to stop them from getting hit or to, like, actually get in the way, to control the other players, to allow you to do silly, stupid skink things. And not having Saurus just makes it such a problem. It's really, really rough. Although, like, if those skinks make it, it's going to be hard for the rest of the season, but we'll see what he does. But, you know, he's definitely in recovery mode right now, I think.
Yep, and then we have Fall and his Amazons pulling out a bunch of surprise victories.
Yeah.
Doing pretty well despite the double AV6 blitzers. Looking pretty sparse, certainly for Div 1. He's only got, or Div 2 even. He's only got 2 guard, 1 mighty blow. Got the crazy line woman, the Agi 5 wrestle, script, tackle.
What a good player.
You know,
And there's a good thrower too.
Good thrower that is plus movement, minus movement. Always a good sign. But still has strong arm accurate, so can actually pass like she's Agi 5, which certainly isn't bad. Yeah, I mean, like it's not a team that has a ton of stuff going on, but it's pretty solid. It's still got, you know, 9 Raj or Blodge, so they're good against any team that doesn't have tackle spam. Unlike those Norse, they're gonna have to fight soon.
Yeah, and there's the Mighty Blow tackle, and they've got a bunch of pieces to take care of stuff, right? They've got a Mighty Blow tackle blitzer, they've got a couple guard blitzers, they've got a good thrower, they've got a couple agi pieces, they've got a couple annoying like catchers that are either good offensive threats or defensive with blodge sidestep. Yeah, it's a like very solid team and like surprisingly efficient. Like if you looked at this, I would not expect 1540 for all that stuff. So you know, it's no wonder he's doing well. It's a good team, and Fall certainly knows how to play Amazon. So
You look at Mr. J. I'll be right back.
2110 ChorFs. How many Claw Mighty Blow do we have? 1, 2, 3 ChorFs. Moving on. No, not really. 2 armor busted Bull Centaurs is kind of annoying. Although an Agi 4 Bull Centaur? What the fuck? I mean, I guess that answers the, like, who's carrying the ball. The answer is the Strength 4, Agi 4, Sprint, Movement 6, Break Tackle. Not that you need Break Tackle anymore because you're Agi 4. It's actually literally just a wasted skill. Which is kind of funny. I mean, Break Tackle certainly made a ton of sense when you're Agi 2, but now he's Agi 4, so Break Tackle does literally nothing. I can't... Am I crazy? Is there any situation in which Break Tackle actually does anything? I don't think so. He's also got Guard for like the defensive side of things when he's not carrying the ball. We got the Blitzer Bull Centaur, who's Break Tackle that actually does something, along with Frenzy, Mighty Blow, and Strip Ball. And then Turtle still exists with Horns, Claw, Mighty Blow piling on. Has picked up Guard. A little bit to go to Legend. Then we've got Mighty Blow, Claw, Guard, Stand Firm, Fend. The Fend is interesting. I'm surprised that's not Grab. He's Agi 1, which is irrelevant. I'm surprised that Fend is not Grab to keep stuff stuck up on the claw or the other claws. The Fend prevents people from following up. But normally you'd want people to be stuck on your Mighty Blow Claw, so I'm unsure why. I'm better ChorF coach than me, because I'm not a ChorF coach, could probably tell you. We got another Claw Mighty Blow, Stand Firm, and then smattering of guards, Stand Firm, Grab, etc. on the other Chorbs. 1 guard Hobgoblin, who you keep around because he's got guards, so you give him the other skills that are kind of relevant, like block and tackle. Sorry. No Shadorra to like take over a little bit of the talking means that my voice is going to go a bit. I'm still not 100% recovered, so 2 hours of talking is not good for me. Dirty player Hobgoblin who's movement busted. I don't know. He only has 50k, so you can't really afford to replace him right now, but he's on the chopping block for replacement for sure. Wrestle Hobgoblin, and then the Agi 2 Hobgoblin is just line fodder. He's mostly irrelevant. Murderer's Row, the Necro. Let's see. Flesh Golem tax. Not quite paid because he's still alive. Oh, no. Paid because this is a rookie Flesh Golem with 5 games, but he hasn't managed to get any SPP. Well, without block, it can be difficult to try to make those greed blocks. And with Agi 2 and movement 4, they're not scoring. I wanted to check what his... the whole point of clicking on there was to look at what his injury was, and then I didn't do that. Just an MNG. But he's got the skills that you want. Block, guard, mighty blow. He's going to take grab probably, unless he gets doubles. The ubiquitous mighty blow piling on as your first 2 skills werewolf, because of course that's what you get whenever you play Necro. 1 SPP away from leveling, and he can pick up something else. Dodge maybe. And then the other one, the Agi Blodge Tackle plus movement wolf, movement 9, and Agi 4 is incredible. Threat anywhere on the pitch, pick up that ball, or to dodge places, or to 1 turn even, or 2 turn. Relatively new white in Son of Slam. I think he's pretty new. I don't remember him. Yeah, well, 5 matches, but pretty new. Just picked up guard, which makes sense because you've got the Mighty Blow tackle elsewhere, and with a new Flesh Golem, you need to get guard where you can, but he'll pick up Mighty Blow tackle eventually. This is the killer white with Mighty Blow piling on. And then there's the Blodge Ghoul.
I asked you that.
Doesn't have sure hands, but he'll get that soon as his next level, unless you roll something crazy. And then guard zombies, which you pick up where you can, because basically you only have 4 natural guard access. You'd like to get more. Any zombie that rolls doubles just takes guard, and you're happy with it, and you leave it there and try to keep them alive. This guy's taking dodge, so he's blodge guard. 120k zombie, but it's an extra guard piece. Then we got a kick. We've got a dirty player. Block, dauntless, tackle is surprising. I'm surprised Handsome Tim still exists. He's a 100k zombie that doesn't really do a whole lot. I'd probably consider recycling him. He's a lot of TV for not a whole lot of value, I feel. But maybe that's just me. Then we get to look at Razzlestorm. Well, the rats are dead. There were rats. There aren't rats anymore, really. We've got Michael J. Blocks, which is a great name. And we're missing another Storm Vermin, because we've only managed to buy 1 so far. Unfortunately, we had 2 really good Storm Vermin, now we're gonna have to redevelop Storm Vermin from scratch, sadly. But it's unfortunate. Thrower has got extra arms and accurate now, so he's pretty good at throwing to those gutter runners and picking up the ball. It's a 2+ pickup that with a built-in reroll now. Just an MNG gutter runner with blodge. We've got the ball sacking gutter runner with Raj tackle wrestle, or strip ball, sorry. We've got a dauntless wrestle option if they don't have dodge. We get a slightly better option there. We can use the dauntless to make up for the strength 2. I'm on Rats Against Teen Stars, but I would like you to briefly go back and look at Mr. J's team for a second. And look at the legend level that Anarchy 2, the Bull Centaur, has picked up.
Agi? So he's an Agi?
He's an Agi 4 Bull Centaur. Oh. And I would like to... And I was like, debating this. He took break tackle and then rolled Agi twice. Like, that break tackle literally does nothing now.
No. He took Agi, and then he took break tackle.
Which makes sense, because it's like
No. If you've got Agi 3, you don't take break tackle. It's a +1 to 1 dodge per turn. Do you want to pay 20 TV for +1 to 1 dodge per turn? The answer is no.
If you had to rely on it, sure. But then he rolled Agi again, and now that break tackle is literally useless. It does absolutely nothing, which is really funny. Anyway, back to Razzlestorm.
Pretty bow.
And then we still have, and then the one really good Caleb McFallen still exists. We've got Blodge, Sidestep, Diving Tackle, Shadowing, and Fend. He's the most annoying gutter runner on the planet. On defense, however, he's movement busted, which is unfortunate, but he's still movement 8, so, you know, whatever.
Yeah, he's still kicking.
Yeah,
It's not really a rat team, though, that the Claw Mighty Blow.
No,
so
the biggest problem is the lack of Storm Vermin. They're going to take forever to develop, and we've only been able to afford one so far.
And then we have Superfed, who's down to a lean 2,000, but has picked up a bear. Oh,
Ooh.
never mind. The bear is movement busted.
He picked up the bear, and then the bear got movement busted. I mean,
How many games has the bear got? One game.
Literally
Jesus
one game.
Christ, Superfed.
imagine the bear.
What the fuck happened to your injury dice?
The bear on Kislev teams is very often like the same reason that sometimes you see rat ogres on Skaven. Like, you don't see them very often, but they're kind of picked up for like I need to protect some of my other players for a little bit. Like, maybe they're taken at low TVs and then they get rid of them and keep them gone for a while. So I imagine that Superfed picked that up to try to like stem the bleeding after his last game. Just like, please give me some strength to get in the way and try to like protect my better players for a bit. And that didn't work because he got movement busted.
Yep.
Captain Stabbin is still around. Like, there were a lot of
Still got a team.
there were a lot of injuries, but it looks like most of them were nothing like terribly permanent, or at least nothing terribly.
So Hall taking a movement bust is definitely unfortunate. The AV5 team Squirt is
He's a
is a
snotling.
he's a double armor busted guy. The movement bust on Milf Hunter is bad, but he's the stand firm one, so it's not that bad. And they've got jump up as well. So
Yeah, there were a lot of injuries, but it's nothing. It's nothing team ending. It's certainly unfortunate, and the armor 5 is bad, but it's not. There's nothing
I
team
think-
ending here.
I would be really surprised if Fed didn't re-roll if he doesn't make playoffs this season. It just feels like he would at that point be like, all right, it's not going to work.
I mean, it's not. I mean, probably because it's super fed. But I mean, I don't think that's necessary. The team is.
No, I don't think it's necessary. I wasn't predicting it as like an idea, a choice I would make. I think it's a choice Superfed might make, though.
Oh, fair enough. I mean, yeah, there were a lot of injuries, but it's not like 9 and 7 over the course of 2 weeks. If you told me that my team was going to take 16 injuries over 2 weeks and then afterwards it looks like this, I would be relatively pleased, honestly, because I would have expected a lot more like career-ending injuries. They're bad, but it's not the end of the world.
And then we have Atomex, the top team in the division at 2280.
Yep.
Pretty serious Nurgle team. That's a full 16-player roster. I don't think you need 16 players.
Yeah, I mean,
Ever.
if you're going to take it anywhere, it's Nurgle.
Yeah.
Their star players are garbage, so you don't need a space for a star player, really.
But giving away a wizard plus every game is probably not a. I don't think you're getting a lot of value out of this many rotters.
No, depends on who you're playing, not necessarily. I would probably fire one, but I mean, 15 players, I would totally have 15 players. It depends. If like I would look at my next match, I'm like, am I giving away a wizard?
Yeah, you
And
can
if
always
so,
play
fire
with
them.
it a bit, certainly.
But yeah,
Primal Gore is 1 SPP away from getting something. I don't know what he's doing here with Primal Gore and Ornan. Ornan Water Closet has picked up Claw, which is nice. He's picked up a movement bust as well, which is really unfortunate for a killer to have, especially if he's eventually going to get piling on. Bird is still kicking around with another great vampire sacker. And then he's got the 4 warriors. I really wish Sandoon had guard here instead of piling on.
yeah.
But I mean, other than that, this is a great.
Yeah, we've talked about he had piling on a while ago, and we've talked about that. But I think what he's doing with Primal Gore is I'm giving away a wizard. Now I have 2 Agi 4 ball threats, Lightning Bolt 1, and the other one can recover. Like, I'm pretty sure that's what he's doing there. Is that like I'm giving away a wizard? Here's 2. So I think it's all about that.
Might have. Well, yeah, he already has the. Yeah. Anyway, it's a piece.
His pet.
It's like also a piece that can like kind of follow the ball around and be like supportive.
The one thing that I think this team is missing is like the true killer Pestigore. Like Ornan Water Closet exists, but he needs tackle and piling on to like be that crazy blitzing threat.
Yeah, I think he lost his killer.
Yeah.
Not
Because very often you're not going to be able to do like the, oh hey, that guy has exposed a valuable piece, let me try to piling on mighty blow it with Nurgle
you can
warriors.
do it with Sandoon, but it's a movement 4 piece, so it's harder.
Well,
Not that Ornan Water Closet is a lot.
Well, it's movement 4, and you're often like those guys are kind of stuck like protecting the ball in your cage or getting in the scrum or something, and they're very not often free to do that. Like sometimes you blitz with them, sure, but they're not very often free to like consistently be that blitz threat. And if you do that with him, then he's now on the floor and can only move one space. I think the only thing this team really wants is a better killer Pestigore, and then everything else is fine. Like you've got enough guard and block lying around in the Nurgle Warriors. You've got some Claw Mighty Blow in the Nurgle Warriors. The Beast has block even. You got a good ball carrier. You've got like a backup ball carrier. You've got a Strength 4, Agi 4 Sacker. Like this Nurgle team is really, really good. You just really wish Ornn Water Closet wasn't movement busted and had piling on and tackle. And that's basically the team as like complete. We have Greenskin Brawlers, Professor Chaos, 1740 Orcs. We've lost a Black Orc, sadly. We've always sort of praised Professor Chaos for his Black Orc consistency and keeping them all roughly the same SPP. We've lost one, so he's going to have to start over with one of them. And it's going to take a while to get there, unfortunately. But you can't not have a Black Orc, so let's pray for some lucky MVPs. Good Blitzer in Sorok, a good support and or Blitzer in the Edge. This is 2 Agi 4 Strength 4 Blitzers in this division. Like, what is with... Like, I know there are only so many skills and only so many rolls, and when you roll certain stats, you're going to take them because they're good. But, like, I don't understand. Why does every werewolf get Mighty Blow piling on immediately? Why does every Orc Blitzer just get Strength Agi immediately? I don't understand.
It's just how it is, Ben.
It's confirmation bias. It's confirmation bias, certainly, you know.
I mean, it's possible that we're looking at Div 1 and Div 2, and the Orc teams and Necro teams that get those things succeed and get to Div 1 and Div 2.
Surprisingly, also it turns out there are 4 Blitzers on every team, and if there's 3 Orc teams in a division, 2 of them should have Strength, right? Like, if they've only all leveled once.
Oh, did I tell you that my team finally rolled a relevant stat up?
No.
I rolled Agi on a goat. Would you like to guess which goat I rolled Agi on?
I don't know any of your goats, so...
Dirty Player.
Excellent.
Yes.
Skipping that. Movement busted Blitzer is unfortunate, especially since he's a rookie, so he's going to get replaced. If we win the next game, we'll probably fire him and replace him, but we don't have him for the next game anyway. But like, this was always just like a solid fundamentals Orc team. Block and guard everywhere.
Losing the Black Orc certainly hurts, but it's still a pretty good team.
It's still got the solid fundamentals, but it's got less solid fundamentals than it did. So it's a bit worse off, but it's still that. It turns out when you have your whole like game plan based around being like the solid, this is just generically good, and then you lose some of the players that do that, it becomes much harder. But there you go.
Yeah, for sure.
So now we gotta do some. We only have to do 3 predictions because everybody's played games. Okay, Cogs of War versus the Greenskin Brawlers. I predict the Greenskin Brawlers because the Cogs of War don't have a dwarf team.
Yeah. So the Greenskin Brawlers have slightly more of a team, and ergo will probably win.
Yeah. The dwarves are just out most of their team. The Greenskin Brawlers aren't one of the crazy high TV teams, so the dwarves aren't even going to get a ludicrous amount of inducements. The Greenskin Brawlers are just going to shove them around. Maybe the Death Roller will do things because Orcs aren't exactly known for quick scoring, but you know, we'll see. Oh, Cogs of War actually at home too, so they get a bribe. So they're very likely going to have that Death Roller on for a while. And he's actually going to be able to do something. He'll be able to tie up a decent number of Orcs. If you can get that Death Roller stuck up on like 3 Black Orcs. Doesn't really matter if they're block guard because you're strength 7 in block. So like that's certainly a thing that the dwarves can do. Big problem is they're just not going to have any ball handling skills because they've got two Blitzers and 1 Troll Slayer. So
I mean, it's definitely the Orcs.
So their whole.
What do you think about Lizards? Lizards versus Norse. The Lizard team that barely exists versus Oath Blows tackle spam. I think it's probably going to go to Oath.
Yeah, the Norse are going to be able to skink hunt because there aren't any Saurus really in the way, and you know there's going to be a lot of extra skinks because there are missing Saurus, and you know sure you'll be able to get a Merc Saurus or Slibly or something.
Probably both.
But there's only so much you can do there, and a Mercsaurus won't have block, and the entire Norse team does. Yeti is probably going to get a block or 2 with Claw against the few Saurus you do have. I think it's Oath Blow.
So he's got 240, so that'll put him at 1500 exactly. So he can get only Slibly. He can get Slibly or a Wizard and something else, but I think he probably get.
And I think that's Oathblow.
Yep, and then Necro versus Rats. So the killerless Rats versus Murderers Row, who I missed. I will look at their team real quick.
Necro team.
They are out of Flesh Golem. They have a lot less guard, but they've still got like a really killy werewolf and a really agi werewolf. I think this probably goes. Oh, he's picked up movement. Albert Squish version 2.0 is really good.
Yep, movement 9 and agi 4.
9, agi 4. Yeah.
He can keep up with the Skaven. He's even a pretty serious one-turning threat.
Yeah, I think the Necro probably have this.
I would agree with you there. So we're
the Rats have a chance to do rat bullshit because they're gonna get a wizard and inducements, probably Glart. But I think it still goes to the Necro most of the time.
Yeah,
and that's our predictions. Easy.
Yeah. I think that's everything, right? We did teams and predictions.
2 hours and 10 minutes. We didn't do too bad.
That was way faster than I expected it to be, considering I can barely talk, and that we had to go through 2 weeks of stuff.
I mean, I think you being barely able to talk and me being so like exhausted from being sick that I'm like hustling you along, kind of it worked out. Yeah,
maybe. So I'm sorry if this was a little less in depth than you were hoping to, but we had to catch up on stuff, and neither of us have been feeling well lately, so we kind of needed to catch up and get back into the swing of things. So next week we will, be taking a look at matches, I imagine, if we're going to continue our pattern. And
yeah, I think so.
We'll see if we can find some good playoff relevant matches.
We'll probably watch the Khemri versus Travel Scrabble game.
Yeah, 1-2.
And we'll probably watch, I don't know, one of the games.
I mean, we're going to probably have to watch one of the 3 that haven't been played, because if these are all played very early, or the replays are probably not going to be available anymore.
Sure. Well, we can see.
Yeah, the Fallen Wonders versus the Rowdy Rebel Rousers might be interesting to look at. Atomex 3-2, but we might not be able to watch it when we get to that point. We'll see. But yeah, so sorry for missing a week. I just literally couldn't do anything. I was home from work for like 4 days. In bed, unable to move. It was terrible. So thanks for bearing with us. And even though we missed a week, we know we are the Div 1 recappers. We should be on top of these things because it's Div 1. But I really couldn't. I felt so bad. So I'm going to apologize for like the millionth time for that. We'll be back to normal now, I promise. And things will be back in the regular schedule now, ideally. So thanks for sticking with us. And we're sorry about that. We really appreciate it. And hope that you guys are still enjoying yourselves. Yeah. So thanks for hanging out, everybody. We'll be back next week. And hopefully we won't be sick again. Ugh, it was really bad. I
was only sick for like a day, but it was still pretty bad.
Yeah. Hopefully everything's back to normal. We are 3 weeks away from playoffs. I'm really looking forward to it, especially since I might be in it for the first time ever, but I just jinxed myself. It should be entertaining. I'm really looking forward to playoffs. It's always hype. So thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed yourselves. We will be back next week. And until then, I've been Steakmittens.
And I'm Shadorra.
See you later, folks.